before I get into this week's review of my adventures with Superman, I just want to say I recently finished watching the animated series Skull Island that Netflix put out. I had to pace myself and watch it one day at a time because, you don't have much good stuff going on now. So I try to pace myself so I don't just binge everything whenever I get the chance. And I don't know, maybe it's me. Somebody could tell me in the comments if it's really just me. Is it that they just don't make good things anymore? Or am I being too unrealistic? Or is it that it's just a whole bunch of ridiculous crap? Because I really don't know. I mean, how do you make like 8 episodes, I believe it was, 8 episodes of an animated series called Skull Island about King Kong, and there's barely King Kong in it. Only like shows like 1-2 little cameos during it, and then at the end, there's some shows about some big fight with something. I mean, you don't basically focus the entire show about some people hunting down some girl and a man-eating dog because it was really her mother looking for. I mean, it didn't make any kind of sense to me. It ended on a cliffhanger, and I just thought it was crap. That's all. I don't know. Somebody could tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I just getting sick of this nonsense they keep putting out and acting like this is supposed to be the greatest set of animated projects ever. The movie, the series was just garbage. Getting to more garbage here. So episode 3 of my adventures with Superman. It does not get better. Now, to be fair, I will say this. There were 1 or 2 things in this episode that I would actually say was Superman-like. And I would say, yes, they were okay. Was it enough to save the episode? God, no. But it was at least enough that for me to actually acknowledge it. Now, it starts off with a blimp crashing. How did the blimp crash? Was there a malfunction? Did something happen? No, we don't know this. They never tell us. It just crashes. And the girl from who Lois Lane had as her source, I think it's Flip is her name or something. So it was with the children who deliver newspapers. She's there while that's happening because apparently she's the only little black girl in all of Metropolis, right? So the blimp is crashing, the pilot falls out. I mean, last time I checked, it usually has a pilot and a co-pilot, but this time it's just the pilot. So he falls out, Superman is running there, okay, no more Sailor Moon transformation as yet. That was just like, then. But now we ain't having that anymore. So he there, and I will say he flies over there, catches him. It's supposed to be very heroic, but this doesn't look because the animation just still sucks. Nothing they could do about it, the animation just still sucks. It looked like some weird attempt between anime and She-Ra, and it just doesn't work. Now, when a big metal beam is about to fall on them, he swoops down and stops it, catches it there with one hand, like I say. So it does look Superman-like. I will say that it does look Superman-like. The fact he spin down there and catch it, okay. Then in comes Lois. She wants to interview him for the Daily Planet. And then he's all squirrely and I'm sorry, I have to go, I think, and flies off. And that's where the dynamic starts to get problematic. You see, this is what happens when you don't follow what's already been done and how it's already been established. Right? Lois Lane is will be a reporter, all of that. Okay, we get that. But you see, the difference between Clark Kent and Superman. Clark Kent is more the mild-mannered reporter. Superman is more the confident Superman. That's why a lot of people don't think Superman would have a civilian identity. Because if you're the most powerful man in the world, arguably the entire universe, why would you want a secret identity? And the way Clark Kent acts is completely different from the way Superman acts. So nobody puts it together. You understand? Because nobody really just say, well, okay, this guy could be Superman, like that. No, doesn't work like that. So he's ducking Lois from, to give her this interview for whatever reasons or whatever crap that goes on. Meanwhile, now, some people are breaking in to this prison, the Ionites prison, I believe it is. And the reason that they're breaking into this prison with a bunch of superpowered technology is to go and rescue some woman who's Silver Banshee. Apparently, it's her brother and some other guy, and they are Intergang, and of course, Silver Banshee is the leader. I mean, God forbid that we remember, Bruno Ugly Mannheim, who actually is a crime boss that runs Intergang. No, let's forget that, because we need to push the women as hard as possible in this and just mess up every freaking thing. You understand me? Of course, the warden of the prison is also a woman. That's just the way it's going. So they break in and they have these superpowered weapons, and they give one to this girl. They get Siobhan is her name on this one, and she puts on here, gonna become Silver Banshee. And where did they get this weaponry from? Well, apparently, good old Leslie Willis, aka Livewire, was giving out these weapons to pretty much everybody on the street like Santa Claus, right? Dangerous alien technology she was giving away. And where did she get this dangerous alien technology? Well, apparently, Task Force X were the ones who had it, and then for some reason they lost it, she got it, and that's it. How did she steal it? What happened? We don't know, but we're just supposed to run with it. So they do that. Right, okay. Then we get Lois, Jimmy, and Clark meet the new set of people who are, supposed to be Perry White's new star team at the Daily Planet. We have Cat Grant, we have this guy who does sports, and some cynical woman who may or may not be a lesbian. That's the only way to put it, may or may not be a lesbian. You understand? And their whole behavior and everything about it, it's just basically another rip-off episode of Owl House, where basically this is like, okay, you know what? They are not getting the recognition that they deserve, so they're going to show up this new team. And then, of course, we also learned in this episode that apparently Lois Lane is a kleptomaniac who likes to just take things that aren't hers. She borrows the other news team's ID badges, aka steals them. They go to the prison, try to get the warden to give them information. The warden knows that they went up, so they're looking to leave. When they get to the scene of where the breakout happens, Lois has also borrowed the warden's access card, because like I said, she's a kleptomaniac. That's the only way to put it. You're stealing left and right. When you're thinking here, right? It's stealing left and right. Fine. Then let's get back to these Intergang people, who are basically just three idiots. That's the only way to put them. Literally three idiots. They have no idea what they're doing. When you look at, when you see old footage of them committing crimes, they constantly use each other's names. They have no plan on what in God's name they're doing at all. But somehow they got these devices. So there's Mist, some guy who could make himself invisible, something like that, and then they have Rough House, some guy with some kind of power gauntlets things on, and of course Silver Banshee, and they have some unstable ice beam weapon that doesn't work. So these geniuses decide, we're going to go and rob Metropolis' largest bank. They go in there, turn on the ice beam machine, break into the vault, understand me, and then start to celebrate while they're taking the money. They're taking the money now, and they and some guards of them, they fire the ice beam machine. All kind of drama ensues. Anyway, regardless of it, our three intrepid kleptomaniac morons show up at the bank, and of course Clark gets separated, changes into Superman, goes in there to stop them, and Silver Banshee uses her song amplifying thing to knock him back. Now, okay, while I don't have a problem with it, because Silver Banshee's scream would knock back Superman, but The fact that it's no longer, because Silverband, she's based mostly in magic. That's kind of the thing about her. She's like a vengeful spirit, if you would. You understand? So that would knock him back. This is a piece of technology, and again, Superman is supposed to be invulnerable. I would expect her to have to use it at a higher range to knock him back. But okay, she knocks him back. He gets two little slap around, and then when Roughouse looks to hit him, he actually stops him. And I will say that actually did look cool. He did stop him. He did do like that. Okay, and then he flies around. And then these dimwits decide, okay, best thing to do, start firing off volcanic, and they accidentally set off the ice beam machine that goes unstable and starts freezing everything. Right? Literally everything. And then Superman activates his heat vision for the first time because, as this whole thing is going along, he's now learning his powers, which is just pretty stupid in of itself. Right. But the ice beam machine, along with the rest of these alien technology, don't have any actual cohesion in how they work. This ice beam machine starts firing off, and then it has some power so that it is feeding it, and it's going to freeze the entire city. Right? And if all of this technology is Kryptonian based, you would think that there would be better controls to stop it, but we don't even know that. Superman uses his heat vision to blast the power source, which turns it off. And once it's, again, like I say, how it have no basis to how these things work. Once he destroys it, all the ice just vanishes. How is that making any kind of sense? I mean, I can understand that it will slowly melt or something, but it just vanishes like it's not even there in the first place. Yeah. So after that happens now, Superman goes out there and decides to actually give Lois an interview. But then the other Metropolis news team comes running over, so he picks up Lois and takes off flying with her. It would have been a very touching scene if, it didn't look like he was flying around with some 12-year-old boy in his arms. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm nothing against the whole tomboy Lois thing. I mean, yes, let's be honest, she looks like Luz Noceda, nothing wrong with that. But had she looked more feminine, it would have had more of an impact on the story. But regardless, that's what they've done. So she finally gets this interview with Superman. And listen to the stupid part of this. She finally gets the interview with it. So she asks him, where does he come from? I don't know. How does he have these powers? I don't know. What is he doing? I don't know. So basically, you're wasting this entire episode trying to set up for some big interview, and his only answer to these questions is, I don't know. You clearly don't know much. I mean, you're supposed to be a reporter. Well, an intern trained to be a reporter. Wouldn't you want knowledge about who you are, where you get these powers, where you come from, something? Even if you had that knowledge and didn't want to give it out, you could have done, let's say he didn't have the, so he doesn't have the knowledge. You could have given answers that actually sounded a bit more like you're not pulling stuff out your ass whenever time comes. You could have simply said to her something like, Miss Lane, I can't give you these answers right now. There are reasons why my identity and what I can do and stuff has to remain secret, at least for now. But what I want you to tell people is that I'm here to try and help. I'm just a guy who's just been blessed with these abilities, and I just want to make a difference and do some good while I can. That's it. But they're not doing that. You see, the reason why Superman's interview with Lois was so important, why it is so important, is because people see this man show up with these incredible powers in this suit. They don't know who he is. And Superman wanted to try and allay some of these fears, and then by letting people know, okay, he's an alien from Krypton, whatever. And that interview started a lot of things. Some people liked him, some people didn't like him, some people hated him, Lex Luthor and all that stuff. That is what kind of stemmed from there. But that interview was a key part of this whole thing moving forward. You've taken that out of it now. So Superman basically gives her nothing, right? And when he flies away, Clark shows up, and Lois basically tells him that Superman is a liar.
Because she pretty much believes that, he's concealing something about himself or what he doesn't want to tell anybody. I don't give a wrong for thinking so. You had nothing to say. Absolutely nothing. Just wasted an entire episode setting up this crap, running this whole Intergang nonsense for no reason. There was no payoff for anything at the end. Literally nothing. But that's kind of par for the course when it comes to this show. So 3 episodes in, and what have we learned about Superman? He doesn't have a damn clue about himself or anything at all. One more thing, when he stopped the ice beam weapon, he got some vision of robots attacking something. So it's pretty clear this whole thing is tied into something involving Krypton or something like that, some kind of alien technology. That's what they're going with here. So they pretty much know every week some lunatic going to have some alien-inspired technology going on some rampage. That's it. Now, like I said, certain things, Superman's heat vision, thank God it wasn't, the way they was doing it, there's a scene being going out of the other. But this whole him learning about his abilities thing, we've seen that in a little show called Smallville already. If you had to do it, you could have done it better. And I would say that, the stopping anything and stuff didn't look Supermanish, but is it enough to save this episode? No. My final rating for episode 3 of My Adventures with Superman, I'd give it a 1 out of 5. I only get that 1 because of those little things I mentioned. But other than that, another waste of an episode that went absolutely nowhere. All we learned is that Lois is a kleptomaniac, Superman doesn't have a damn clue, and for some reason, Jimmy just keeps hanging around in the background. That's it. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, should hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell. Notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.